Heartbreaking moment of Bruce Lee's daughter Shannon Lee. Recently she was very emotional about losing her superstar father and brothers. She remembers them and goes depressed. Now she reveals the sad truth about their tragic deaths. In a recent interview when asked to Shannon Lee, how do you survive when the two most important men in your life die at a tragically young age? The daughter of martial arts hero Bruce Lee and sister of Brandon Lee describes what kept her going and how she is preserving the family legacy. Shannon Lee is cheerfully recounting the time she went to a darkness retreat in Oregon. For 4 days, she stayed in an underground cabin in the woods, so dark she couldn't see her own hands. Most people would find this terrifying. But for Lee it was liberating, she says. All you have are your thoughts and feelings, and they start to bubble up. So you get to look at a lot of things and it can be uncomfortable. I came out very energized. The 54-year-old daughter of Hong Kong American martial arts icon Bruce Lee has always been a reflective soul. Her father's death, when she was 4 and he was 32, and then the death 20 years later of her older brother, Brandon, aged 28, have made her that way. Talking over a video call from her office in Los Angeles, she describes herself as a seeker who has always been interested in different paths to healing. She was inspired by her father, who was a philosopher at heart and a prodigious journaler, constantly writing down his thoughts and feelings about life and work in an ever-growing stack of notebooks. Lee was close to her brother, who she describes as a big, boisterous ball of energy. He liked to play pranks on her. He was my tormentor. But when it mattered, he was also my protector. If someone was being mean to me, he would step in. When he became an actor, she worked as his assistant on the 1992 film Rapid Fire. He would give advice to me. But she wasn't able to commit to her new career because, just as she was starting out, her brother died in a tragic accident on the set of The Crow. After roles in Legacy of Rage and Showdown in Little Tokyo, Brandon, who had his father's smoldering good looks and natural gift for martial arts, was on the cusp of stardom when he was accidentally shot and killed by a faulty prop gun, fired by his co-star Michael Massee during filming in 1993. Lee was heartbroken. She had big plans with her brother. He had asked her to be the best man at his wedding after becoming engaged to Eliza Hutton, a personal assistant. Lee was planning to move to Los Angeles, where he was living, to pursue acting. We were both really looking forward to being able to spend time together. After his death, she fell into a deep depression. I was struggling and in a lot of pain. In my mind, I kept saying over and over to myself in a silent loop, I can't feel like this. I can't live like this. This is too much. How do I make it stop? Her father's journals had been piled up in boxes and stuffed into filing cabinets around the house. She started to read them only when Brandon died. My favorite quote of his was, "The medicine for my suffering I had within me from the very beginning, but I didn't take it. It just hit me in the chest. It told me, the only person who can solve this for you is you." This newfound awareness helped in unexpected ways. I started to realize that I had been mildly depressed most of my life and had not known it. 30 years after the film's release, The Crow is getting a reboot that is coming out later this year, starring the Swedish actor Bill Skarsgård and musician F.K. Twigs. Lee has seen the first-look images of a heavily tattooed Skarsgård as Eric Draven. I feel like nobody will ever replace my brother in that role. He embodied that character beautifully. No one likes to see someone's legacy brushed over by something else. It's a beloved character, so I understand why they continue to make it. But I think my brother's performance will always stand. Losing a father and then a brother when she was so young was devastating, she says. Their absence in your life is deafening. You're left trying to figure out how to continue. Then there are the moments where you go, I wish that person was here. People often ask questions like, what do you think life would have been like if? I never did too much of that kind of fantasizing, because it's not helpful. First of all, it's never going to be the case. I need to deal with what is rather than what could have been. But you know, processing all of that is life's work. She made the move to Los Angeles a few months after Brandon's death and muddled on with her acting career, but her heart wasn't in it. Eventually she decided to quit. It was a really tortured time in my life, she says. I was in deep grief over my brother. I was not really able to show up for that in the way that I would be able to now. I was very hard on myself. Recently, she made her return to acting after 21 years, in Warrior, the Asian-led martial arts crime drama that was created from an 8-page treatment by Bruce Lee is an executive producer on the show and appeared in a cameo as a grief-stricken mother. It was nerve-wracking, but I really loved it. She doesn't have any other acting projects in the pipeline, but she calls her comeback a gift. Having her life so closely tied to her father and brother's legacies has been a struggle sometimes, she admits, but Lee is grateful for the chance to express the love she has for her family. Death has been a very valuable teacher for me. It's taught me to live. When someone you love dies, you're faced with the notion of mortality and you are forced to learn how to let go. Because if you attempt to hold on too tightly, it will destroy your life. It's a hard lesson and it takes a long time to get there. But eventually you get there. So viewers, please like this video and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching.